welcome to week 2 of After the Bell.
Man.
We are your hosts. I am Flipsyde, and this is...
I am Tim.
The man of a million minds. Like we said, we really appreciate everybody tuning in to our very first week last week, Tim. You know, it feels good to actually have other fans that are just like us that, you know, appreciate what we bring to the table and what we're trying to bring to the table and to the wrestling community, pretty much.
Yeah, man, I love it. And what I started doing was I started going out to the YouTube and checking out everybody else's webcast.
Right.
And everybody has great thoughts. They review the match, and so I love the fact that everybody else has the same great opinions and views that we do, and so I'm glad that our opinion counts too. So
pretty much, and hopefully we can reach the masses eventually, and they'll start respecting our opinions as well. I mean, if not, we still have the wrestling fans, which we are too, so it's not a big thing.
Let's just briefly go ahead and talk about the pay-per-view. Extreme Rules.
Extreme Rules this past weekend, this past Sunday. Great set of matches. They had about 9 matches. And some of them weren't that extreme, but since they went away from the ECW thing, it's gonna be
plus they have the censorship now too, so they have to be less extreme, but still pull off the extreme pay-per-view title. And, so our first fight was supposed to be Sheamus versus Triple H.
We knew that wasn't gonna happen. We knew it.
How would Triple H fight first?
Exactly.
You guys out there know. And I mean, you could be a Triple H fan or not.
Right.
Triple H is not going to fight first. I mean, definitely, he's not going to come
out first before his opponent. Yeah. It is not a championship match. He's definitely not going to come out first. We already know that from his 15 plus years in the business. I mean, unless you're the Ultimate Warrior and his name is Hunter Hearst Helmsley, he's not coming out first like that. So therefore, we knew it was going to be some type of I guess I don't even know what you want to call it, shenanigans that would go on in the back to prevent that match from going on first, and it's exactly what happened.
It's exactly what happened. So Triple H and Sheamus, they ended up when the video came on, Sheamus was beating the crap out of Triple H, and so they said, well, we'll see what happens. And so the next match was actually Big Show and John Morrison. I'm sorry, Big Show and The Miz.
Show Miz match. And Teddy Long, of course, he came out and said that he wanted Show Miz to go through a gauntlet style set of matches. And when pretty much what happened, they came out. R-Truth and John Morrison came out first. They ended up getting disqualified for something that's rarely seen in wrestling, for not breaking the 5 count.
Dude, I tell you what, if you're the ref. When have you ever seen the ref just disqualify him? Usually they'll go over there and try to break it up.
Right.
But John Morrison, I love that move that you did, the Big Show. I think we should see more moves like that often. Use the ropes to your advantage. That's what they're there for.
But who started doing that back in the day? I think it might have been Bret Hart doing it from the
sharpshooter from the outside of the ring.
And that was the first time. Well, that wasn't the first time where you would see someone actually get disqualified for doing something like that. So I guess they're trying to go back to that with John Morrison with the move, and the move actually looks similar to the Undertaker's move when you really look at it.
Well, the Undertaker's move is more of a
like a choke, right?
It's more of a choke around the throat, with the legs. But this one's more of an arm bar. But then we had MVP and Mark Henry come out for the second round of the gauntlet.
Yeah, you knew they were going to lose. So as soon as you saw MVP and Mark Henry come out, they haven't been teaming together in a while anyway. So you knew they were going to lose. And what happened? They lost. So then, of course, after that, you have the Hart Dynasty come out for a very quick win over the champions. So they ended up beating the guys, and they qualified to have their match the following evening on Raw.
Which I actually thought, even though it was, a pretty quick match, I actually thought, it's going to build up to something big, and it did.
It did. And you know what?
What do you think?
Just to touch on it, the Hart Dynasty.
That's what I was going to ask you. What do you think of the Hart Dynasty?
The Hart Dynasty, I really like them. At first, I didn't like them because they were kind of stiff and they didn't have anybody to talk. But now, with the Bret Hart situation in play, they're looking really, really good. I am very, very happy to see the WWE go back to actual tag team wrestling, where they bring in a real team, not 2 single superstars, and just put them together and say, we're gonna let you guys run with the belts because we want you on both shows talking. We're gonna actually put focus on a real team.
Right. And in one of the YouTube videos that was posted this week, a gentleman was talking about that, about the tag team division, and I actually left a comment saying, right as now the tag team division is dead. But like you said, if you can get a true team and start running these, I'm a big believer that each show should have their independent wrestling tag team titles.
They really should.
But like you were saying, they go back and forth. But they should build up the tag team division.
Right.
You cannot be a pro wrestling federation without a tag team division.
Right. And the reason why the tag team division actually died down, in my opinion, is because when you have teams that really just can't talk and you don't have a manager with them, I mean, back in the 80s and 90s, early 90s, managing was a big deal because you would always have that guy was the guy that could talk.
What happened to the managers? The
Managers
great managers. You had Bobby Heenan. You had
Jimmy Hart.
You had great managers. But now we have hardly no managers. No. And if they are a manager, there's somebody that's in their group. Like, let's say, for example, CM Punk's group. They'll bring them down. They're not managers.
He's still the guy that's talking.
Exactly. Those guys ain't doing nothing much. So, okay, the next match we have CM Punk versus Rey Mysterio.
Speaking of CM Punk.
Speaking of CM Punk, I actually thought this was probably one of the best matches of the night. It had a lot of great moves. One of my favorite parts of the night is when Rey Mysterio, did a little move and got him on the 619 on the ropes.
That was a very good move because it was a counter into his finisher, which he hit the 619. But we did have a run in that we have to speak on. We had a run in. Okay,
so everybody in the YouTube world thinks it too.
And everybody thinks that it's Mercury because it has been posted all over the blog sphere or whatever you want to call it, the internet, the World Wide Web, saying that Mercury's back. Even Melina commented on Mercury being back in the WWE, and he's in the backstage area. So a lot of people are thinking that it's him.
Do you think WWE might change it up like they have in the past?
I was just about to say that because that happened in the past with the whole Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy angle that they pulled, and they found out that Christian was coming back, and everybody thought it was Christian, so they went away from it and did it totally different. So I'm thinking, if WWE stays true to form, they're probably going to change it to somebody else because they have plenty of talent in the back.
Yes.
Just waiting to be discovered, and would love to get that to be pushed in the forefront. You already got a great talker like CM Punk. He's going to definitely carry the talking for him. So.
Right.
So like I say, CM Punk ended up winning. He won the match. So like we said
last week, if you're going to continue at WrestleMania, the match between CM Punk and Mysterio was a
mask match.
A mask match. And so this month you had a hair match. So next month, do you think you're going to have a combination, a hair versus
mask match, just like what we talked about? We think that and you touched on it perfectly. You said. Since Ray won the mask match, CM Punk won the hair match, now he's probably going to lose his hair at the next event.
Right.
And we had a lot of hits. We had a lot of hits on YouTube, and we appreciate those comments, people leaving, saying that that CM Punk was going to lose his hair, and they think that, they like him better with hair and all that stuff like that. So, you guys got to at least keep that for another month.
Right. And like I said last week, when CM Punk and Rey Mysterio goes for the hair versus mask match, if CM Punk wins and he does not lose his hair, I will shave my hair off.
Right.
But if Mysterio wins and he shaves his hair, I get to keep my hair.
You get to keep your hair.
Okay, so YouTube fans, keep up to date about my hair and if I'm going to lose it or not.
Bingo.
Wow.
Okay, next match, strap match, Shad versus JTG.
I actually, when they came down the ring, I like Shad's new look. I like JTG's new look.
Right.
I love the fact that they're finally broke them up because they never really did give them a push as a true tag team because they were one of those few tag teams. But like you've always said, they had a really bad gimmick.
Right, they had a really bad gimmick. The gimmick was over the top. It was straight up exploitation. As far as putting them in the stereotypes, them guys coming out, that's why they had to put the disclaimer on them at first to say that it was just a parody. But like I said, it was pretty much just to extend their feud, pretty much to hopefully get at least one of the guys over, more than what he's ever been. Okay, now we gotta take a break because we're on our time. But we're gonna come right back and continue more into the Extreme Rules pay-per-view and also jump into the Raw segment.
Man, I can't wait. We'll see you right back.